4 fastest and cheapest Madden 20 Ultimate Team coins. Make sure you guys go check out my sponsor, EasyMut.com. Use code VENM at checkout for 5% off. Yo, what's up, everybody? It's Fire here, back in the video, and today I'm going to be showing you guys the best pass defense in Madden 20. It's going to come to us here out of the Big Dime 236 Will. This formation is also called Big Dime 236 Sam. They're the exact same. Just don't get confused by that if your playbook has Sam and not Will. They all have the same exact plays, and this play is going to be in the Packers playbook. It's the best defensive playbook in my opinion right now in the game. If you guys want me to make a full Packers defense ebook, hit that like button and spam it up in the comments. I might get working on that. But the player I'm going to be running, as you guys have seen in the thumbnail, is going to be this Cover 3 Cloud. Now, Cover 3 Cloud is a very unique defense. It's probably the defense I struggle to pass the ball on the most, and some formation subs you might want to do is what I just did is I put safeties here at linebacker, because for some of the setups you're going to be manning these people up. They're going to be in zone coverage. You want some high zone players, and then obviously you got the DBs, 6 DBs on the field, including your safeties, which would make it 8. So just go ahead, come out in the play. I usually run it to the same side. You could also just run it flip to throw off your opponent. I usually just keep that cloud flat to that right side. Let's go ahead, hop into that, and let's just go ahead, come out in a random pass play. Now, what I'm going to go ahead and do, this isn't the best run defense. You still can shoot the gaps like inside zones, but if they come out in I form, it's definitely not going to be the best. So just for the base setup, all you have to do is, what I like to do is base align, press, and then you could just go ahead, shade underneath and shade over the top. That gets those cloud flats. You have a 3 rec, a hook curl, and another hook curl. Usually what I will do is I'll put this A cornerback in a vert hook, and then I will use this hook curl. So let's go ahead, watch them snap the ball. They're going to run something like slants, and you guys see everything is bagged. They throw a pick. My player drops it. It's Madden 20. So, again, that setup that I just ran was base align, press, and if you don't want this player to get burnt, you could just click on move him back. Just go ahead, shade underneath, shade over the top. That's going to give you those cloud flats on both your corner and this curl flat zone right here. Cloud flats, I usually like to keep the cloud flats if you want. You could just reset the play. All you have to do is shade over the top. That will give you the cloud flat on the right, but you will still have that curl flat on the left if you prefer that type of a zone. So that's just the base setup. Then you go ahead, put A on a vertical hook. I prefer the vert hook zones because people, especially when attacking cover 3, they will try to hit the seams a lot, and especially on the cover 2 side, on that right side, it just makes it more of a cover 2 type of a defense on the right and cover 3 on the left. It's overall just such a difficult defense to pass on. And then usually with the D-line, if they have a scrambling quarterback, slant outside contain. If I have a pass rush ability, I put him right here at D-tackle. If they don't have a scrambling quarterback, I usually just slant outside. You could also pinch your D-line if you want. You guys see that this player sort of gets a glitchy animation. And then just go ahead, let's snap the ball here. You guys see, boom, using everything over the middle. Everything is bagged on the outsides. The flats are covered, and you guys see we're going to get pressure. Now, the only really weakness with this defense is going to be the pass rush because you are only sending 3. But if you want to get super glitchy with this defense, something you can do in a mode like Ultimate Team, just get 3 D-line abilities, and then you could drop as many as you want in coverage. You'll still get pressure. So if you really want to play like a cheese ball, that's the way that I would recommend doing it. Again, the base setup is base align, press, shade over the top, and then put A in a vertical hook. I'm going to be going over more in-depth setups as we continue in the video, so I'm just going to start out with the basics, get into more complicated setups throughout the video. So again, here's just the basic setup, basic cover 3. If I wanted that cloud flat, I could shade back underneath and then back over the top. And go ahead, snap the ball here. Using, you guys see that seam route by Olsen got bumped. If he throws it, my free safety picks it off. And we're only blitzing 3 against, I think that was a 6-man protection. We're still getting pretty quick pressure relatively. I'm going to move into another setup I have. You're going to, basically on every play, you guys see I'm just basing, aligning and pressing just so these corners are spread out. You don't want them like sort of in a glitch spot like right here. I prefer my DBs spread out. The next setup I'm going to go over is basically what you're doing is just going to be using this player up here. It's just to confuse your opponent even more. You're basically turning it into a stock cover 3 rather than the cover 3 cloud. What you're going to do is just put B in either an outside third, you could put him in a deep half, or you could put him in an outside quarter. Usually they'll be able to attack this area and they might be able to beat you. I usually just stick with the outside third. If you catch them trying to cover 3 beat you, put him in a deep half. Anyways, now you see we have 4 zones down here. You're going to put your user right here in a hook curl. It doesn't matter. He's our user. And then what you do is just put A in a curl flat. There you go. There you go. You have 2, basically a stock cover 3. You just have those zones over the middle. And even running it, if you want to run a stock cover 3, I recommend running it out of the play just because of how glitchy this 3-rec hook is. It's such a good zone. It's like a bait zone. It's basically like another user on the field if it has a 90+ zone. And it will absolutely put in work. Now, if I wanted to get glitchy, I might go ahead and move this player over here, and I'm going to use her the left side of the field. So what I'm going to do is man up this safety, maybe on X in this case. If there was a slot receiver, I would man him up. Since there isn't out of this form, we're going to work with what we have. So I might do this little cross man type of a setup. And you guys see we still have a 3-rec hook. We still have our user on the left side right here. Go ahead, snap the ball, boom. Oh, it was actually a screen. So unfortunate play call right there. But go ahead, set up the defense again. So you guys see when I'm not baseline, this player's going to be all the way out there, baseline press, and since I did click onto him, he's actually not going to respot, unfortunately. So again, that same setup I just did is I put B in an outside third, A in a curl flat, put this player in a user, and then I went ahead and manned up X, our X linebacker, on Y. Y is the slot receiver in this case, and usually when I'm running like a stock cover 3, I definitely prefer the cloud flats. Make sure that you do shade over the top when you're pressing this much because you can get burnt if you don't have like 99 speed corners. Definitely shade over the top. Another thing I'm doing is I'm slanting outside every play. You could also pinch your D-line. This player, Judon's going to get a glitchy shed animation. Same with Pierce. You might actually get a pretty good shed animation. And like I said, you're just using Tavon Young, strong safety in this case. Go ahead, snap the ball. Boom, you guys see we don't have to worry about Y, RB, everything's bagged, and it's just so bagged. It's probably the best coverage defense you could run. And overall, just absolutely dominate people. It's so difficult. Your opponent's going to have to put together 15+, 10+ play drives to score on this defense. He's not going to be scoring in one play. If he does try to go with the cover 3 beater, maybe you go put this player in a deep half, run a true cover 3 cloud. You could keep him in that outside third. And again, another setup I want to go over is just going to be like a man coverage type of a setup. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to come out on the same setup, baseline press, shade underneath, shade over the top. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to man everybody up. So I'm going to man RB. And the good thing about this defense is that if I'm not putting this player in a vertical hook, Brandon Carr, our corner on the right, I can man him up. So what I'm going to do is man him up on RB. There, I don't really have to worry about him. What I always like to do is I usually like to leave that 3-rec hook over the middle and still have another user. But if I wanted to, I could do something like this maybe. Man up this player on Y, and then I could just use the 3-rec hook. But here's the full setup. You guys see nothing really bagged. Maybe if they throw a crosser, it could get open, but all you have to do is just worry about the middle of the field. You guys see the zig routes, post routes, everything is boxed. And these are random plays too. These are just random plays. I don't think one's got relatively close to being open. Again, that same setup that I just did was go ahead. I actually kind of want to switch these formations. I want to show it against the gun bunch because this is a form that a lot of players run online. The way that I like to bag this out of the cover 3 cloud is what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to press, and then I'm actually not going to base the line usually against bunch. Something that I'm going to do though is I'm going to put B in a soft squat. You don't want to put them in that cloud flat because if they run something like verticals, it will get open. And you don't have to press them as well. I'm not sure why I did that because sometimes you still could get burnt. The soft squats do a very good job of defending those vertical routes as well as the corner routes. The next step I'm going to do is I'm going to man up A on RB, and then I'm just going to user. What I'm going to user is I always like to user this player on the left, right there. And if he continues it with the corner route, user this player, simple enough. And you guys see this should be bagged as well. All you're doing, again, putting B in a soft squat and manning up that cornerback on that slot receiver. The slot receiver is going to be the one on the corner routes if they are running that type of a concept. So you guys see, even though I was on the left side, I can still run to the right just because I recognize the play right away. It was the verticals, and I know that the player running across the field is already manned up. So again, set up. In this case, I might want to flip my play just because I want that corner that I can man up on the slot. So if I go ahead, flip the play, then I can actually press and I can man up Marlon Humphrey here, this corner on B. So that might be something you want to do. If you flip the play, it doesn't do much because the formation is symmetrical. So even if you come out in the wrong way, it's not going to make too much of a difference. You guys see, same setup here. I'm going to use this player. Pinch D-line, slant outside for those better shed animations. Go ahead, hike the ball. Now they're going to run something like posts here. Boom, everything is bagged. We get that pressure. We get the sack. Like I said, don't expect instant pressure. You're rushing 3. Again here, something you might want to do on every play, this really does come down to preference though, is you could just put B in a soft squat every play if you want. That's very risky because the soft squats are a very aggressive zone. They're going to defend streaks or deep routes until another route comes in their zone. So flat routes can typically kill it, or they can actually attack it down the field very well if they have a flat zone or flat route on the field. Now, against spread, what I like to do is, again, I'm pressing. I'm going to man up this player on the slot receiver, and then something I might also do is man up this player on the slot receiver. 2 players manned up in the slot. All we really have to worry about is maybe a post from X or B. That's considering it's a smaller post, not one more down the field, because we do have those deep zones. But again, nothing really to worry about. Maybe a slant, maybe a quick man beater route. You guys see, maybe I'm looking over at B. X, if he throws that, it's picked, but B, we're worrying about that. Like I said, I recommend running this formation with, those three D-line of superstars if you can. If not, 1 will do. I definitely recommend getting at least 1 for the most success. Like I said, I would put him at D tackle. You could also put him here if you want. If you're going against a quarterback that is stationary, a pocket QB, someone without escape. But yeah, it's going to pretty much do it for the video. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you leave a like on the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well for some more Fire Madden 20 content. Also, go check out my Emmitt Smith gameplay. I dropped it yesterday. And yeah, if you guys like this defense, make sure you go try it out. I definitely recommend it. I struggle to pass on it myself, and that's just stock, and that's no adjustments. This one's got a lot of adjustments. Definitely difficult to pass on. And overall, I recommend this. Cover 3 cloud out of any form is good. This big dime one is better. Like I said, it's not going to be the best against the run. You kind of have to live with that, but against passing forms, if your opponent's in like spread, it'll be able to stop the run. Simple enough. But yeah, it's going to do it. Peace. I'm out of here.